Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a beautiful afternoon in Munich, where today you join me with the newest generation of the BMW 7 Series. So this is the 750 Li X-Drive. L for long wheelbase, the Limousine version. And today I need to get from my current location at BMW Group Classic, where that's actually the original BMW plant. I'll talk more about that in a moment. But I need to get from here over to Munich Airport to catch a flight. So what better than to be chauffeur driven in the new 7 Series, the facelift, the LCI model. So let's have a run through of this absolute tech fest, show you some of the new features, talk a bit about those well discussed new front grille and see what it's all about. This is it then, the updated or facelift version of BMW's now 7th generation of the 7 Series. The 7er is the most luxurious model in the lineup and normally the model with which they introduce the latest generations of technology in terms of the gizmos, the gadgets, the creature comforts that you have on board that I'm going to be experiencing shortly, and also the safety systems, things that find their way in the future into other models from the lineup. Now this being the 750 Li means that we've got a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 making 530 horsepower, so plenty of power to breeze down the German Autobahns, the de-restricted Autobahns, with speed, style and comfort to head over to Munich Airport, departing from this pretty special location right now. This is the home of BMW Group Classic, and that building is where it all began, the original assembly plant back in 1918. It's now home to the storage of the classic cars, so the likes of the 507s, the 328s, the M1 Pro cars, even a McLaren F1 with a BMW V12, and then just outside it you have the more modern workshops where they carry out the restorations and servicing of classic vehicles too. But we're here to talk about this, so let's explore then in detail the new 7 Series. And I think the best place to begin will be with the most discussed visual feature, those new front kidney grills. The BMW iconic grills have now grown substantially in size, and the reason for this is that BMW sell 41% of 7 Series units out to the Chinese market. For out there, they wanted the cars to be more distinct, more distinguished, to stand out and be even more recognisable. The grills grew for that. The badge on the bonnet has grown as well, and in fact the grills connected in the middle are now 40% larger as well. They still have these opening flaps that allow air to come in and cool the engine, or close to reduce drag, and it also sits actually 50mm taller. And by having even slimmer headlights too, it emphasises that size even more. BMW are going for this distinguishing feature across the range. The more prestigious and luxurious a car is, the larger and taller the front grills will be. The sportier cars will be narrower and wider. The whole aero profile at the front has actually changed, but you can see the sensors embedded within. So the camera's here for the 360 bird's eye view style system. The sensor down below for your radar sensors, your adaptive cruise control, and in fact that actually heats. So say you're driving the car in snow and it's picking up all sorts of dirt on the front. By heating, it continues being able to work, whereas other systems might no longer function. As you come around the side, you're greeted by the traditional style lights, but these are BMW's latest laser lights with selective beam, which means they can block out certain things ahead, so instead of dazzling oncoming cars but keeping the surrounding area fully illuminated, they've got those blue touches you can see inside and actually look really pretty cool. As we come around the side of the car, the air breather here has changed in design as well, but that's to do with allowing air to go out from the wheel arches to improve the aerodynamic efficiency. Now this car is very much chauffeur spec. You can see the grey paintwork, the smaller size wheels, and the length of the rear doors as well for the long wheelbase. Now it's an X-Drive, the four-wheel drive system. You can only have X-Drive on the long 7s. They're all rear-wheel drive if it's a normal length vehicle. Coming in closer, more cameras to spot on the door mirrors. The car uses those to help itself park automatically. No hands on the steering wheel. It can maneuver into parking bays. And let's say you're trying to park it into a space that's too narrow to actually open up the doors. You can get out and then use the key to move it forwards and backwards. Around the rear, new LED tail lights as well, now with the 3D sculpturing style, slimmer again. again, the 750 Li naming designation on the boot lid, and the tailpipes integrated into the bumper. But there's lots to show before you even get in the car, and the first thing, I'm going to pull out the display key. Now this was launched a few years ago, we've seen it before, but what you've just seen is the most interesting thing about it. It unlocks automatically as it detects you walking towards the car. So it's now open, ready to go. But let's say I close the car and walk away. As soon as you get to a certain distance away from it, it knows you're going away, and it actually locks, as you've just seen with the lights blinking. That's really pretty clever, but slightly disconcerting as you wonder whether it's actually locked. If I unlock it manually, you can see the display key waking up. You can swipe this up to take a look at a number of different things, whether, for example, it's locked or unlocked. You can see whether the lights are on. You can see how much range you've got, and we're going to need to go to a petrol station quite soon. And then finally, you can actually set the climate control before you depart for your next journey. So from the key, you could of course open the boot, lock, unlock, normal functions, but I can pop that back in my pocket and have normal keyless functionality as well, being able to open the car the more traditional way, where you can be greeted by this very, very nice interior. So in the center, you can spot the touchscreen here that you have for your infotainment with the new 7th generation of the operating system. The driver now also has a digital dashboard, and for the facelift, the leathers and materials used have also been updated, including the stitching. And this particular car with the deep red, almost burgundy interior goes very, very well with the grey exterior paintwork. If we take a look at the rear as well, which of course means opening the rather long doors, it's a continued land of luxury, the same materials, fit and finish and quality, but with a lot of tech back here to play around with. So mounted on the back of the driver and passenger seats, you have these 10-inch touchscreen displays which allow you to use the infotainment just like in the front. In the central armrest, you have the additional removable tablet here, which gives you control over things like the blinds for the side windows and the rear glass, the ambient lighting, your climate control, you name it, that's all through there. And in the opposite rear seat to the driver, you also have the ability, at the press of a button, to fold the front seat forwards, to fold the rear seat into a reclining position, and to open up this footrest that's mounted back here. We'll certainly be seeing how that works later on. Just going to close the door though, come round to the driver's side so we can start it up and check out some of the other functionality. And you might have spotted it actually detected me walking away there as I went towards the rear of the car, locked and then unlocked itself. Carbon core, lightweight materials that are used. The steering wheel is in a raised position to make getting in and out slightly easier, and it lowers actually when you start it up. Here you've got the digital display, but keyless, so let's give it a press of the button and bring the V8 into life. And there we go. So this display was introduced, you can see the steering wheel moving. This display was introduced with the new 8 Series. The engine actually is shared with the M850i. You can see the way it's set up, with the speedometer around the left, the rev counter at the right, those sensors up top to detect where you're looking, and in the middle you have the integration of the navigation. Speaking of which, the tiles here for this interface, you can configure it, you can change what you're looking at, you can move around different tiles, change it all, set it up how you'd like it, and of course, as I say, if I just swipe this back towards the home screen, you can actually talk to it. So let's give this a test. Hey BMW, navigate to Munich Airport.
All right, our next destination is Munich Airport.
How magic. We can see 51 minutes from here to get there. 49 minutes, it found a new route. So that's all actually quite easy. You do need to sometimes be a little bit patient with it, but you can change the interior lighting, you can do all sorts of things. You can also change the recognition word and what you're saying that it picks up. Of course, it's going to have to find us some fuel as well, but it will do that automatically. Other features you have are the gesture control. So different movements of your hands actually do different things. If you want to reject a phone call, you kind of wave it away. I think we've currently got set that if you do this, it mutes. You can also do this to raise and lower the volume, depending which way you want it to go, and then mute it again. It's all pretty clever what you can do, and that's just using some sensors up above. We've got the sun poking through the lovely glass sunroof above us, but it's generally a pretty nice place to be seated, and of course ready and set now to be heading off. You've got your adaptive cruise control settings here, your ability for the car to stay in lane, the automatic lane guidance where if you were to take your hands off the wheel it would keep you in check. Not fully autonomous vehicles at this stage. You've also got your seat heating, ventilation, the ability to move the passenger seat from the driver's side, adjust all the windows and blinds. That's why you have additional buttons here, heating, cooling, everything back there. We've got an 8-speed automatic gearbox, your controls as well, so you can put it in adaptive mode, which adjusts how the air suspension is reading the road up ahead of you. The wireless charging pad for your phone, that's a new introduction on the facelift generation. Still have this screen here for the climate control, which I actually really like the look and general setup of that screen and display. Back here, new wood used around the gear lever. If we open this up, USB-C port as well for some charging going on. So what else can I show you up front before we jump in the back? The lovely lighting that you have here, which is actually mimicked by the lighting on the exterior. Your controls for the headlights themselves, all the steering wheel controls, a new steering wheel, the heated steering wheel button down there. But this, in LI form, is a car to be driven in as opposed to a car to drive. So I'm going to climb into that seat and get ready to set off on this adventure. Another thing that the car can do to make your life a little bit easier, say you've got some luggage that you want to pop away into the boot, just at the rear, wave your foot underneath one time, the lights will blink, the boot will open up, our luggage is preloaded and ready to go, pop that in there. All done. You can actually wave your foot under again, which will actually close it. We'll start beeping away, or you can press the button just here. And then I'm going to take my seat and get ready to head on. Let's do this then. So, Schmark 150 up front, how are you?
Oh well.
I'm ready for my comfortable, peaceful ride in the back here. So, seatbelts on. Let's get set before we can start going through some of these displays and things that we have back here. In this central section, where you've got the cup holders and the climate control, is beneath this flap, which can close up should you prefer. The display, let me just turn this on so we can see right in front of us. You've got the tiles, just like what you have up front as well, that you can configure and go through the different ones. Navigation is currently loading up back here, but you've got your volume control, the weather, all the connected services. In the center, this you can actually eject. Now I'm going to do this immediately. You can see the way it tucks the sides in and pops open, because in here we can do the sun protection and close the shades. So you can see there the sunroof currently closing up. In fact, you can just close all of them and you can see how this works. It's a bit of a transformer going on back here, making everything a little bit shadier and darker, or you can in one press open them all as well, but it does actually feel a little bit odd in the bright sunshine. So let's have them open. Maybe I'll just close the sunroof. This is just fun that you can play around with. So what else we have in here then? We go back to home. You can control your media, and it does all sorts of funky things with the audio from one side to the other. You can set the navigation. I think you can enter a new destination in the car setting. This is where you have the different aspects. So if we go overview car, you can see the rear climate, the seats. You can control the seats directly from here, turn on the massage, the seat climate controls, the seat settings, all different settings. Look, you can literally adjust and change every single element, and this being done through the tablet is the latest generation of the software. Interior lighting, you can adjust the different colors, the brightness of it all. We've got orange lighting. Of course, it's a little bit bright right now to see all of the lighting, but basically endless controls. Even adjust the sound system, or the lighting of the sound system. Very cool. So the lighting, yes, look there, you can see the lighting inside the speaker grills that you have. Very, very cool. So what else do we have in here? I think that's more or less it. Not exactly a bad thing, and that just tucks back in there, detects it's gone in, and locks itself back down. So what else do we have? The storage compartment in this space behind that opens and closes gently with that cover coming down. We've got the armrest back here with a table in it. So if I open this out, so you can see how this works, that folds into place, swings around, opens in front of me, table to put my laptop or something on, and a ginormous storage bucket as well. There's a 12-volt socket down there as well. I'm going to pop this away actually, but quite nice to be able to have that out should you wish to use it. I think it tucks in just like this, nice and easy. How's the car up front?
Good. Relaxed, chill. Should switch on my massage function as well.
Well, you could do that. You could literally say, ask the car to do it for you.
Papa.
Or you've got the button on the side. Okay, we can just about see those displays.
That's brilliant.
You've got a lot of different settings up there. The central button here does your different assist modes and controls depending what you'd like to put the car through. So let me show you this particularly nifty thing that we've got here. This button, this reclining style button. And I will point out from the rear that if you rest your knee on the side, you do end up pressing these buttons, which is slightly awkward. But if we just give a press of that, it's all happening at once. The front seat is lowering, it's moving forwards. My seat is actually entering the reclining position as well at the moment. It's moving around. In fact, everything is moving at literally the same time. The seat will fold itself forward. Eventually, it's going to end up literally all the way for full maximum recline, which is quite a fun thing. It adjusts the screen, changes its angle, folds the headrest forward so that it can actually go all the way without hitting on the visor up on the top. And you can see, yes, it takes a little bit of time for this to all magically happen, screen folding again, but then the footrest opens up, and literally when it's finished I can rest my feet up and have a complete nap going on here in the back. So it's that simple. I'm being very delicate right now because of obviously having shoes on, but there we go. Nice cushioned pillow headrests, nice and relaxed back here. Maybe I shouldn't wear sunglasses if I'm trying to have a nap, but if you close all the blinds, it's a pretty comfortable place to be, and then one press of the button and that will all reverse itself and go back to normal. I think maybe you have to press in here, there we go, and it all starts tucking back and going back towards normal. So here you have the other controls for your backrest, the base, to move, I think that's to move the footrest on its own if you want to independently move the footrest. You can also enable just the front seat, so I can move the front seat on its own, as you can see, and bring that back to the normal position. I think I'll work out how to do this exactly. Kind of learning a little bit as I go. What else does the car have? Well, up front you've got adaptive cruise control, lane guidance and assist, automatic brake assist, vibrating steering wheel if you cross the line. I know that's something you're not a big fan of, Mark.
No, not really.
And there,
it's not working in town, so only on the highway.
Okay, so it does actually ask you when the seat is folded if the view is obstructed of the driver's seat.
It is, but yeah, you have to look a little bit over the headrest, so to speak. So if you're a bit taller, then it's easier. But you can always move it slightly backwards, and then you don't have the issue anymore.
But then that message stayed up. That screen's actually really bright up front. And then back here, I've also got a little vanity mirror going on as well, as you expect in these kind of things. The grab handles up top, illumination here. It's all very nice if you're driving at night and in the dark. Carpets are very soft. I mean, from a space point of view, just look at how much room I've got in front of me. There's absolutely no shortage. Climate control, air vents absolutely everywhere as well to keep us very nice and comfortable back here. The seats are well cushioned, perforated for the ventilation and cooling. You can also do the blinds as well from the physical buttons here on the doors armrests. But it's pretty well loaded, it has to be said. We've just had a quick fuel station stop, and you can see there the 360-degree cameras at work. Of course, as we start driving, those will disable, go back to a normal view, so it's not distracting you from the road. Now we're going to head out onto some Autobahn, but I suspect it's going to be a little bit busy, but we're rather early for the flight, so still kind of enjoying the car for a little bit longer before we actually get there. But it'll be interesting to see how quiet it is out on the road, whether it's as silent back here as it looks. I'm just exploring myself, the different controls you can see over there, the storage buckets. On the passenger seat side, or sorry, on the back of the driver's seat, you have a pocket for documents or a map or something back there. Of course, open that back up should you prefer for additional storage. But the car, well, it's fairly quick. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is done in just, I think, 3.9 seconds. You can feel the front pitching up. Bit of V8 sound, and that sign just up there means it becomes de-restricted, which might give us a small opportunity to experience a little bit of the power from the back, a slightly different perspective, as Schmark will be able to, hopefully, be able to put the foot down a touch and experience and watch some of the numbers rising. So you hear the V8, but not too much other noise. There is a bit of wind noise that I do think comes maybe from the door mirrors that you can hear. Of course, there's a lot of traffic up ahead. But this is a car where you feel very comfortable sat in the back. The long wheelbase version makes it incredibly long, which isn't ideal for parking, let's say, but if you're purchasing that, you're likely the person who wants to just sit and be relaxed and sat back here, knowing that I've got the ability at the press of a button to go through all sorts of different screens, displays, controls. You could opt the car with fragrances that dispense around it. You can have a fridge back here as well, I think, should you prefer, instead of the extra space. You can't really complain about what we've got on offer, and we're cruising along at just under 150 kilometers per hour, very gently, very calmly, and as I say, not necessarily heading in the right direction, but just enjoying the car and a bit of a drive while we've got some time before the flight. And there goes another 7er being tested. Of all the coincidences, I wonder what they're working on there. Here we go then, opening up a little bit in front of us. Feel the car picking up speed pretty quickly, up towards 200 kilometers per hour or so. And this is where I think it comes into its own. I'm not sure what it's like to drive up front, but it feels relaxed and calm. Would you say the same?
Yeah, totally. It's so relaxed and calm that you sometimes forget how fast you're going. Because this is 165 now, and it's like, it feels like 120. It's like ease.
Just nothing, just smooth, quiet, calm. Suspension is decent. You've got a few different driving modes you can go through, but by default it's obviously keeping things quite comfortable and calm. And from back here, that is definitely how it feels. Not too much noise, just watching the world go by from the back of the 7er. In fact, now that it's not quite so bright with the sun, I can turn this on and open up the sun protection, sun visor. Give a press of that button. It's all so easy to do, and that's obviously the wireless tablet. You just press some buttons, and the magic happens, and it opens up for us. This is the thing, the numbers just rise and rise and just rise and rise. And yeah, we're about to 250, so it's governed, we think, at, is that it? That's VMAX? 260 is where it's actually cut out. So we've done VMAX in the 750 Li. And that was really quite efficiently quick in the way it got there. And even at that speed, it just wasn't dramatic.
It's easy, chill.
Very, very much appropriate to cruise here on the Autobahns. So I think we're going to head now towards Munich Airport. Although, let's just enjoy another quick acceleration here. Just like that, up to 250 kilometers per hour, 155 miles per hour. Magic! Arriving at Munich Airport. So, somewhere over that away is the plane that I need to catch. And sadly, we'll be saying farewell to the lovely BMW 7er. Here we go then. Time to pull on up, jump out, and head inside. So I'll head round, hop on out of this wonderful, wonderful thing. Farewell to the interior of the rear. That's been an enjoyable place to go for a ride. Come round to the back. I think actually there's a button to open the boot from inside, or of course to press the button, or whatever it may be. Grab my stuff, head on in, and go catch the flight. We shall say goodbye then. Thank you very much, Schmark.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the lift. Enjoy driving the car. Let's have a quick listen to the startup of the V8 come into life there. So the X-Drive 4-wheel drive system of the 750 Li. It's discreet, it doesn't stand out, it doesn't shout from the rear. When you see it from the front though, those new grills, well, you can't avoid them, that's for sure. When you're looking literally straight at the front of the car, it's very, very prominent. But there we go. That is it for today with the BMW 750 Li. I hope you've enjoyed this video, being able to see the ins and outs of the new generation, the facelift of the 7th gen now of the 7 Series. Thank you very much, as always, for watching though, guys. I appreciate your support. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!